Hi, and thank you for joining me for today's process video. And today I'm back to my photos of New York from December last year. And this is a series of photos at a little French bistro that we stopped at for lunch on New Year's Eve. So there's a picture of myself and Ross, some of the frog's legs that we ate, a picture of the lovely sourdough bread on the table, and at the bottom James and Amelia and James's steak tartare. I'm using the Distress Oxide in Speckled Egg to blend across my page, and I'm really struggling. I think my ink pad is finally drying out. This is definitely my most used colour. I just love this tone of blue, and I've tried really hard to use the blending brush, and you can see I gave quite a few goes. In the end, in sheer frustration, I just swiped the pad across the page. I tried blending and of course that didn't work, but then I thought actually I do like the look of the swiped ink across the page. So the top strip I started swiping from right to left, the bottom strip started from right to left, and then the top strip I focused on starting on the left hand side and moving it across to the right. And that's the same with the photos. They're going to sort of taper down the top stack from left to right and the bottom stack from right to left, you'll see as I start to build them. So as well as that blended ink or swiped ink in the background, I wanted to add some text as well. So I just grabbed one of the script backgrounds from Hey Little Magpie, one of our stamps, and I'm just using the same ink to stamp across where I've swiped the ink. Because it's more intense on the stamp, this will show up on top of the swiped ink and it has a really good effect. So I'm just concentrating on where I know this stamp ink is going to poke out from behind the photos. There's no point in doing it in the middle because that bit will definitely be covered, and in fact looking at the layout now an awful lot is covered, but you do still see little bits peeking out, and that's the effect I was looking for. So now I've done that stamping, I'm going to come in with a second stamp, and this is Fossilised Amber, and I'm using the Coffee Rings stamp from Hey Little Magpie and just some of the little ink splats or coffee drops to just add a little bit of that yellow around the page. I'm going to be using Vicki Boutin's Discover and Create. You can see some of the bits that I pulled out in my little tray from JD 3D Print there at the top. And I know that I'm going to be using some of the orangey yellows. So I thought bringing this stamp in would be a good way to bring that a little bit around the page. So I'm just trying to reposition the photos roughly now so that I've got an idea of where they're going to go. And then I pulled out this paper from the 6x8 paper pad. It's just white with little polka dots, and it's got a few little mixed media splashes of that duck egg on it. So I thought that would work really nice to map my photos with. It's not just plain white cardstock, it's something a little bit different. And then this is true to me, the scrap of paper that I had left wasn't quite wide enough, so I've just trimmed the photo down a tiny bit to fit. So there was a little bit of give on that photo, so it was fine. So that photo that I've just put down there, that little photo, is James with his steak tartare. When he looked at the menu, he said, "Oh, I've always fancied trying that." So we ordered it for him. He said it was okay. I don't think he was convinced. I love food like that, but he's I don't know. I think he prefers hot food really on the whole. He does like his sushi as well though. So again, trimming this photo down at the top, this was the frog's legs that I chose from the menu. We were all just sharing food because it was just a small lunch. We knew we were going out for tea as well. And yeah, everybody seemed to enjoy it, so that was good. Amelia mainly stuck to the bread and butter. She does love her bread and butter. So, but she did try everything, which was good. And again, cutting that photo down to fit onto the paper, and I've used the strip at the top of the paper, what's it called, the branding strip at the top of the paper pad to mat these photos because I liked the blend of the two colours. It's just that lovely duck egg blue at the top with this polka dot behind, and then the paper is reversed on the back, so that first picture of the frog's legs I backed with the duck egg mainly, and then the little strip of polka dot, and then the second one I've backed with the polka dot and the little strip of duck egg showing. So these are some of the bits and pieces that I pulled out from the ephemera pack. That ampersand in fact is cut from black cardstock using a Hey Little Magpie die. We've got a die set with lots of different ampersand shapes, and it's really lovely. So if you enjoy using an ampersand on a page, I would highly recommend looking at that set. And then these are just little bits and pieces from the papery pack and the ephemera pack that I've got from this collection. So I've cut out that title Time to Chill because I thought that would work nicely. We were just walking down Park Avenue. We'd been to Central Station and we spotted this. Amelia needed a toilet break and we were all ready for a drink, so we decided to go in and have an early lunch, and it was really nice. It was a beautiful bistro. Ross actually said, because we're going back this December, he said he'd like to try and find it again. So I've looked up the address and put it on the page, so we've got it available if we want to go back. So just adding down these bits and pieces. This piece I wanted to add because I knew I wanted a few places to add some journaling, so I've got a journaling card at the bottom there and also one at the top that I've got opportunities to pop a bit of writing down on. And then this was just a leftover piece of papery. I'd obviously used the tag of this piece in a previous layout, but I quite like the two little hole punches, and the craft colour looked really nice with the photos, so I decided to add that as well. So I'm just going to get this ampersand stuck down at the bottom, and then I can carry on embellishing. So moving to the top now. So I've got my 3 photos. Like I say, I wanted a journaling strip on the left-hand side. I've got this discovering title because I want my title to be Discovering Chez, which is what where it was that we went to. Just adding those photos. I do pull them up a couple of times to make sure that I'm happy with the positioning. There we go, and then adding the title there. And I'll bring in the alphabet stickers from the sticker book to add the Chez Francis at the bottom. See, I do a lot of fiddling, don't I? There we go, so there's the title down. And then I'll bring in those other bits that I want to add to the left-hand side. So first of all, this little, it's almost like a notebook with a paper clip at the top. And then this is one of the paper clips from the paper clip pack, and it just says look here. And then that's a tiny bit of paper that again that's left over from a previous layout that it just looks cute tucked in at the top there. I've also got this little title that says the little things that's going to go at the bottom here. So just getting these bits glued down before I forget. And then I've got a label to add to the bottom right, a feather which is fussy cut from one of the papers. I'd used a lot of feathers on a previous layout and decided to just cut the rest of them out of that page that I had them available. So they're just in my little bag with all my ephemera pieces. And then another little fussy cut flower, a little daisy head, just to cover at the bottom of the feather, and it just sort of finishes off that little cluster nicely. It holds the 2 bits together there. So here I am with the stickers. I just wanted something else at the top of the page. I felt like it was missing something there, so I just add a blue sticker there, and that can hold my date. And then going through the word phrases, I find the nicest place. The top one says the nicest, and then the bottom one says place. So that works nicely. So I'm going to add my date, as I say, to that top label. And you have to be a little bit careful with these labels in the sticker book from Discover and Create. They're a little bit shiny, so you could easily smudge the ink if you're not careful. So this is where I'm going to put Chez Francis, and I'm just spelling from the back to the front so that it all fits where I want it to go. I wanted the S to snuggle in underneath that G, the descending G. So here I'm writing the address of the restaurant, like I say, so that if we ever want to go back, we've got it. And then I'm going to add my journaling on the left-hand side here, just what I've said already, how we came across it, and that we enjoyed it, and what we had. And then just looking through the sticker book, I felt that it needed something to the left-hand side of that title, and I found this blue heart, which works nicely because it's the same sort of blue as the label and the feather and Amelia's top in the bottom photo. This one says Life's Little Treasures, which I thought went nicely. And I'm just writing about how James said that the steak tartare was good to try, but he wouldn't have it again. And then a few little scattery bits, so these little circles with gold stars in around the page. And then I decided to come in with my whole reinforcer punch from We Are Memory Keepers and just add a couple of those in black around the page as well. That just sort of brings the black all the way around because I've got it in the ampersand and I've got it in the title. And the bottom photo is quite dark of the kids, so I thought I'd bring the black around the rest of the page, and then I'm going to add some black splatters using my Tim Holtz watercolour pencils. So just using a narrow brush and just wetting that end of the pencil to get the pigment off, and then I can splatter. It didn't go as not easily as it normally does this time. I don't know whether I'm out of practice. It's been a while since I've used these, but I got it going in the end. Added a bit too much water and did get a big blob on the ampersand. But you'll see I finish in a minute thinking that I'm done, and then I decide to cover the photos and really go for it and add some bigger splatters, and it's much better when I've done that. So lots of little ones at the moment, and just focusing around the bottom underneath the photos really to accentuate that strip that I've got, the two strips across the page. And here's where you can see more water, more vigour, and just get some big splats going. So that's the top row done, and then the bottom. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope I've provided some inspiration. I'll see you again soon. Bye.